So, it is the end of 2016, not of the world. Although it might be. I don't know. The year is over, and the games I've played are quite a few. So, in no further ado and much a bother... I think I made that joke last year. Wow, I'm unoriginal. Let's get into the top 5 games I've played of 2016. These are the top 5 games of the year, in my opinion, that were the best. They didn't have to be made this year. They only needed to be played this year. And in that respect, there are probably games from 2014. I think one of them is a little bit older than that. Maybe 2 of them, actually. But I know a few of them are from this year. So, without much bother and further ado, let's get into it, shall we? On the number 5 spot is, surprisingly, Dark Souls 3. Why isn't it up higher? Well, for a few reasons. First off, the game is wonderful. Went into the game blind, played through it, still waiting for the last DLC. It is a gorgeous game. It is a beautiful game. I love it. I have never wanted to go into New Game Plus before in a Dark Souls game. I still haven't because I'm waiting for the last DLC to take that character into New Game Plus. I've very rarely in my Dark Souls games wanted to create another character just to see how it goes. I did it in 2, but I kind of stopped after a while, because I'm like, okay, doing this again, okay. Actually, it was more Scholars of the First Sin that I did that. I did that, because technically that would be the same game, just a little mixed around, going through again with that. So yeah, I have, but Dark Souls 3 is the first one that I wanted to do it again, and again, and again. Problem being, it doesn't run particularly well on my computer. Now, is this the reason why it's lower on the list? Yes. It is a complete my fault reason it is lower on the list, however. It is not the game's fault. The game plays beautifully when it's not frame jittering. The game looks beautiful when the textures are of good quality and the game's not tanking itself. It is a wonderful, wonderful game that my computer has a bit of a hard time to play. I still can't get it higher than 480 by 6 whatever resolution. It is a tiny, tiny screen. The tiniest of screens that I can play this game in without it crapping itself. But I know that in that terribleness, it is a beautiful game, and when Hal gets his upgrade, I'll play it again, get a much bigger screen, get to play and see everything I love, and just enjoy it even more. Granted, a few of the other games on this list ranked higher not just because of the frame rate problems. It was a big reason, but other games on this list kind of edged it out because... well, let's get into that. On the 4th slot, we have XCOM Enemy Unknown. Now, I mentioned this in the last video of games I didn't play, but I really wanted to 2016, that I played XCOM Enemy Unknown, and I want to play XCOM 2. Now, in XCOM Enemy Unknown, I get my love of turn-based strategy games. I don't know if you've realized, but I really like my turn-based strategy games. But the thing about XCOM is that if you make a wrong turn, people die. People die horribly in the face. Granted, some of them is their fault. They panic and then they just fucking do whatever they want to. Sometimes it's good, sometimes they've killed people. Other times they've killed my own people. When do you need to panic and you then suddenly shoot the guy that's next to you, that's been next to you for like for the past 2 turns? I've yet to beat XCOM Enemy Unknown. I think that's self-explanatory on why. It is a very difficult game, even though I'm going on the easiest mode. Still pick Iron Man. I mean, I'm not gonna save Scum anything. I never save Scum. Not that I remember save scumming. Either way, the game is great. It fills the itches that I want. And I love it. I really do. So much so that I want to play the second one. Number 3 is a very, very late entry this year. It cut the wire very close. Legend of Grimrock 2 is in my number 3 spot. Why is that? Well, let's start off with the story of Legend of Grimrock 2 with Legend of Grimrock. Way ago, when I started the channel, I did a Legend of Grimrock permadeath. Spoiler, I died. And I never got to finish the game. I really liked the game, so I got Legend of Grimrock 2 and thought, okay, when I get the chance, I'll do a permadeath on that. I did a permadeath on that. It lasted 4 episodes. 4 very fun episodes. In doing so, I then decided, well, I never finished Legend of Grimrock. Let's go back and play that. I beat Legend of Grimrock. I had a huge, fun time. I want to play more Legend of Grimrock 2. I've decided to turn it into a non-permadeath. I'm going to play through that. We'll probably get more of the videos out next year. But in that, I've already recorded more of that game. And, oh boy, the comparison from first to second is... it just throws the first out of the water. The first one is great. The menus are terrible. Oh my god. It feels old, even though it's a new-ish game. 2 blows everything that 1 was. It was amazing playing the game, and I just want to continue playing that game. I'm on the edge of my seat waiting to start that Let's Play back up again because of how much I love the game. We have more choices of characters, more classes, so many more classes. I didn't even remember that there were only 3 classes in the first one. There's like 6 or 7 in 2. Holy shit, you can customize your party however you want. There are so many possibilities. The edge is there, but there's also more, because as finishing Grimrock and playing 2 is more of an open world, in a way, whereas 1 is a linear path going down. Going down into the dungeon, if you miss something, you can go back and get it, but you don't really need to. In 2, it's open to you. You pick a direction and you go. I'm at a crossroads I stopped at a crossroads right now. I can pick whether I can go one way or another. I couldn't do that in the other game. It makes me feel like I'm actually on an island, which is the setting of 2. It makes me feel like I'm exploring someplace, unlike the first one did, where it was, okay, I'm dungeon crawling. That's still great, but I'm actually exploring in 2. And that, I think, is what I love most about it. How different it is from 1, but also being the same. I can't gush more about it if I tried, but that's why I kind of put it on this spot so late in the game. I played it this month in December? Yeah, no, December is when I played it. And it's on the number 3 spot. Yay! It's really, really good. On the second slot, ooh, what could it be? It is The Witness. The Witness, oh my goodness, I thought that would get number 1. I did too. The Witness was, and is, maybe the best puzzle game I've ever played. I love logic puzzles. I don't know how much I can say I love logic puzzles. I got It's under my soup. I got this for Christmas. Okay? I love nonograms. I love these. That's a logic puzzle. I love the line puzzles. I've probably talked about this on Flash Player on a few of those. There's a few Flash Player episodes about logic puzzles. I love logic puzzles, and The Witness is a giant logic puzzle in what you play and the world. The experience, I'm gonna bring back from last year. The experience I had while playing The Witness is unlike any other, because I had that moment where I was just playing the game. I was going from screen to screen to screen and enjoying myself, being like, I do this, I do that, okay, yeah, I did that, okay, next, moving on. I did that. And then I suddenly looked, and I'm like, oh look, there's a line thing. It's cute. It kind of looks like it's a world line thing. I wonder what happens if I do that. Holy shit! Mind equaled blown. Okay? And that's not even comparing it to what happened in the Let's Play I did, where I beat the challenge area. I fucking beat the challenge area. If you haven't seen the last episode of The Witness, go do it, because I got it on film. I got that achievement. I am fucking happy. That is one of my greatest gaming achievements I think I got in, well, my gaming achievements. The game is so simple, it's brilliant. I think I said it in the first episode, that it reminded me of my junior year English teacher, Mr. Miles. His philosophy of teaching was not teaching through teaching, it's more teaching through doing. And if you do things over and over again, you'll learn it better than someone giving you the information. You have to earn that information. The Witness makes you earn the information to proceed. I will never forget those game mechanics because I've played The Witness the way I played it. You will never forget the game mechanics if you've played the game. I could probably go back maybe 10 years. 10 years later, I am probably going to remember how to play that game because of how I learned and played that game. It is unlike anything else. And I'm still trying to unlock things in that game. Haven't done it in a while, though, so I should probably jump back into it, but there are still things I need to do. I think I figured out what was in that box when you beat the challenge area. I think I figured it out. But there's still more to do through that, so yeah. That's in the number 2 spot. Spot. That's in the number 2 spot. Before we get into the number 1 spot, I wanted to put in an honorable mention. That being Civilization 6. Now, the reason it's not on the list this year is, frankly, I preferred 5 better. Civilization 6 is still a great game. Civilization 5 is probably my favorite one, even though I've only played 2. The reason I prefer 5 over 6 is longevity. When I play a Civ 5 game, I sit down, I randomly get a person, I have my quick map, I have fun. I do it, I maybe save 2 or 3 times, jumping back in and out, back and forth, but I complete it. In Civ 6, I'm really excited to start a game. I get a good spot. I get whatever I do done. And then I save the game and I go. And then when I jump back into it, I don't really want to continue. It's a weird feeling. The other thing is that it feels slower. I don't know what it is, but the game feels slower. In Quick on 5, I go at a reasonable steady pace. I'm happy at how that goes. I'm from one thing to another with maybe a little pause in actions towards the end game, but it's the end game. It's going to be a little slower at the end game because, it's a lot of things are going on. In 6, it's kind of quick paced, and then it starts slowing and it's just so slow afterwards. It just feels slow. And I don't want a slow Civ game. If I wanted a slow Civ game, I'd play on standard. Words. You can tell I've been doing this for a while. My words are starting to stop me. Either way, Civ 6 still gets an honorable mention, though, because I still have fun with it. And I'm still enjoying the game. It's just not up to list standards for me. So, yeah. Finally, this year's number 1 game of 2016 is Enter the Gungeon. I've played that game every day since it came out. I have been able to unlock almost every single elevator except the 5th floor. I've gotten to the 5th floor a couple of times. The game has replaced Binding of Isaac for me. It's replaced Risk of Rain for me. It has replaced... I think there's a couple more in there that I have for my roguelike games, but it's replaced all of them. Simply because I need more skill. In Binding of Isaac, I've played so long that I'm almost godlike no matter what I have. Unless I've been dealt a really crap hand and crap items. Basically anything I've been given in Binding of Isaac, I can get to pretty much the end of the game. In Gungeon, I can die so fast if I'm not paying attention. I am so happy when I dodge and get a perfect on a boss. And that's hard to do. That's still very hard to do, but I can do it. The game... There's just a feeling when you play that game that I know I will fail. But if I get better, I'll fail less. There's not much more I can say about it other than that. So, yeah, top game this year, Enter the Gungeon. So, that has been 2016. I've played quite a few games, but none more important and enjoyable than these. What were they again? Well, let's recap them for no good reason whatsoever. On the number 5 slot, we have Dark Souls 3. When the last DLC comes out, that's it for the game and the Dark Souls franchise, but it's still going to be fun to play again and again and again. On the number 4 slot, we have XCOM Enemy Unknown. I am enjoying that game, and I want to play 2 so very much. On the number 3 slot, we have Legend of Grimrock 2. More of that game will be on the channel next year. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm so looking forward to it. On the number 2 spot, we have The Witness. Possibly my favorite, best puzzle game ever. Not possibly, is my best favorite puzzle game ever. And finally, on the number 1 spot, we have Enter the Gungeon. I want to play that game more. I want to beat that game. My goal is to unlock all those elevators and beat the game. I want that bullet. I want the gun that kills the past and that bullet to get me there. Oh, boy. So yeah, that's been 2016. What will 2017 hold? I don't know. There's a lot of games that I'm looking forward to. And probably a lot of games that I'm going to find out next year if I want to play or not. But we'll see what happens then. Hopefully you've had a good game playing of 2016. Did you? You didn't? Well, then play some of the games I just mentioned.